This will be my best school year ever. Yes, this will be my best school year ever. And I believe that this will be your best school year ever if you understand this. Small habits create big results. And in this video, I want to talk to you about if you want to have a better school year, why it's very important to develop better habits. Hello, I'm Kantis Simmons, and welcome to this video. Like all the time, like I'm encouraging you, hey, down in the comments, if you believe this will be your best school year ever, hey, let me know there in the chat box. Go ahead and in the comment area, just go ahead and say this will be my best school year ever. Yeah, put it in the chat box. This will be my best school year ever. Now, I believe that your habits will determine if this will be your best school year ever. Okay, now, whether you're a student, whether you're a parent, whether you're a teacher, you're probably in that phase of going back to school. Now, here is what have seen how you start your school year, your routines, your rhythms, they will establish your life, right? The rhythms and the routines that you develop right now, they will form in your household, they will form in your classroom, and they will form in your mindset. And so I want to talk about habits. I want to talk about what a habit is, why habits are important, and when to apply these habits. And before we jump into this, I want to invite you to my upcoming best school year ever 5-day boot camp. Yeah, I want to invite you to this 5-day boot camp. What is a boot camp? This is where I've carved out 5 days out of the month for 1 hour a night. I want to invite you as a student, you as a parent to join me for this, where we're going to talk about day one. Hey, what are the standards? What are the goals that you have for your school year? Day two, we're going to talk all about, guess what? Time. Yeah. How to use your 168, 24 hours in a day, 7 days in a week, 168 hours. Then we're going to talk about study habits. Then we're going to talk about what you're doing in the classroom that's going to prepare you for college. Talk about scholarships and how to pay for college. And then we're going to talk about how to put everything together so you can win this school year. Now, listen, if you want to participate in this, hey, I put a link down below all about this best school year ever 5-day boot camp. Just 1 hour a night for the next 5 days, where we're going to work together as students, as parents, as families to do all we can do so we can put the systems in place so we can win this school year. Now, I'm suggesting that we look at habits at the beginning of the school year, right? Because as you start school and the habits that you start, if you start them now and don't get on good habits, you may miss out on a window of time, right? And then now you're playing catch up for the rest of the weeks, the rest of the month in this school year. So let's jump into habits. Let's talk about why they matter, why they're so powerful, and when you should start using them. Okay, so let me give you a few examples of a habit and what is a habit, right? So a habit is something that is a small action. Okay. It's a small action that you do this action over time. You do it without thinking. Okay. For example, let's say when you get picked up from school, you automatically sit in the back seat on the passenger side. Or maybe when you come in the house, you kick your shoes off and you put them in the same place. Or maybe just habitually when you wake up, you grab your cell phone and you start scrolling. Those are habits. Now, like me, you have some good habits and you have some habits that are bad habits, right? Good habits and bad habits. But we're going to talk about how these small, repeatable actions over time will become automatic. All right. So if something that you do that's small and you do it repeatedly and it now becomes automatic. All right. So here's some examples. Let's talk about some morning habits, right? These are just some examples of habits that you can use, habits that you can start, but I want you to understand the power of habits. Okay. So let's say in the morning, one of the habits that you develop is the first thing you do is that you make your bed. Okay. Now, guess what? If you get up and make your bed first thing in the morning, and you do it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, guess what? You will realize that you're automatically making your bed. Another thing that you could do could be a great habit is reviewing your schedule for today, right? In the morning, you look at everything that has to go on. That can be a habit. Another habit is eating a healthy breakfast. All right. Those are natural morning habits. Now, we can do the same thing for the evening. All right. What's an evening habit? An evening habit is you could get your book bag, get your school books together, and prepare for tomorrow. Another evening habit is when now you can go lay out your clothes, iron your clothes, prepare for school for tomorrow. And another great habit could be simply, before you go to bed, you take some time to pull out your journal and you write down one thing that you're grateful for. All right. Now, what I want you to see is this: the things I just mentioned, they're not huge, right? They're not huge life changes, they're small. But if you do these small habits, they stack up over time. All right. Now, let's talk about habits versus goals, right? They're different. A goal sounds like this: I want to get straight A's this school year. That's a goal. I want to get straight A's this school year. But a habit sounds like this: I'm going to review my notes 15 minutes every evening. You see the difference? Goals give you direction, but habits give you momentum. And in this game called school, you want to make sure that you're going in the right momentum that's going to lead you towards success. So that's what a habit is. Let's talk about why habits, right? Why do habits matter so much? Why do they matter so much for your school year? Right? I believe habits matter so much because they reduce decision fatigue. Yeah, they reduce decision fatigue. How many times have maybe you woke up in the morning, you got to go somewhere, and you got to try to figure out what you're going to wear? I know I do it all the time. That's why I keep it simple. I'm wearing a shirt, a bow tie, and a cardigan. Right? I reduce decision fatigue. And the less you got to think about it, the more energy you have for learning, the more energy you have for problem solving, the more energy you have around creativity. Now, if you maybe you've seen the president, or I know Steve Jobs, who was the owner and CEO of founder of Apple. Anytime he would do a keynote presentation, he would keep it very simple. Right? He would wear a black T-shirt. Right? And what I found is that a lot of successful people, they eliminate this decision fatigue based off of just go ahead and developing a habit of having something simple. So that's why you want a habit. That's why you want to have a habit, so you no longer have to decide, oh, I'm going to make my bed, or I'm going to eat this for breakfast, oh, I'm going to do this at night. All right. The second reason why you want to have a habit is because habits build your confidence. Every small win you achieve becomes a building block for the next. Yeah. Every small win, right? When you do this one habit and it goes well, it's not going to build your confidence. And now you're building your habit stacking. All right. When you can look at your habits and you can look backwards and you will say, man, I've been consistent all week long studying my blank. All right. Let me give you a quick metaphor. Think of habits like a railroad track, like railroad tracks, right? Once you lay the railroad tracks down, the train can move forward without constantly steering, right? You still you got to power the train, but the idea is that now that the railroad tracks are in place and a train is there, the train is on the track, and now you can just power the train and the train goes in one direction. That's why habits are so important. Now, I remember years ago, there was a student that I worked with. I think her name was Maya, right? And Maya, she struggled, like she really struggled with staying organized. Her homework was always late. The mornings in her household were just chaotic. She would get to school late. And what I realized is that when I was speaking to Maya and her family, like we didn't do a big overhaul of her life. We just added one new habit. Just one habit changed everything. And the habit that we developed was, hey, Maya, let's prepare and organize your book bag before you go to bed. Just that one habit, right? Organize your book bag before you go to bed. And just by doing that one habit, within weeks, she became more focused, she became less stressed, and her grades started improving because the mental clutter was gone in the morning, right? We helped her lay the track, and she followed that habit, that new habit, which was taking the time to organize her book bag in the morning. And so things change. Okay. Now, I'm a big science guy. And here's what I realized about habits: your habits now rewire your brain, right? And because you do it so much, it now creates repetition. And that repetition gives us stability, right? It eliminates the stress. And now we start on a repetitious journey doing something that's going to make things different. All right. So we talked about what habits are, why habits. Let's talk about when is the best time to start a new habit. And honestly, the best time is now. Yeah, the best time is now. Why now? Because you're going back to school. All right. It's something called a fresh start effect. Anytime you're doing something and you get a fresh start, the best time to start a new habit is at this fresh start, right? It's a new school year, fresh start. You're going to a new school, fresh start. Maybe you're living in a new neighborhood, fresh start. Maybe as a teacher, you have a new class, fresh start. Maybe as a parent, you have a new job and you're taking a new route to work. By having this fresh start, it puts you in a place of a mental reset, right? So it's like a new beginning, a new school year, a new job, a new month. And now, because of the new start, your brain is now more open to change. Your brain is like, man, let me go on and make a change now rather than making it later. So here's the truth about it. If you want to have a great school year starting off, let's start to be intentional. Let's fill our days with good habits, not bad habits. Okay? So don't wait. Don't complicate this school year. And what I want you to do, I want you to pick one thing and start at it this week. Yeah, pick one thing and start at it this week. So here's what I want to give you. I want to give you what I call my 7-day habit challenge. All right. I want you to pick one morning habit and one evening habit. That's it. Pick one morning habit and pick one evening habit. And I want you to track that for the next 7 days. Okay. Now, I don't want you to try to, be perfect, but I want you to decide what the habit is. And I want you just to track it over the next 7 days. All right. Now, listen, if this was good for you, I want to invite you to my upcoming best school year ever 5-day boot camp. And what I'm doing is that for 5 evenings, just for an hour a night, I'm helping students and parents coming together as families so we can have our best school year ever, where we talk all about, hey, what are the standards and the goals that you want to accomplish this year? We want to talk about, hey, how to manage your time, how to manage your time like a CEO. We want to also talk about, your learning style and your study habits and how these study habits put you in and prepare you for A's in class, as well as preparing you for college and preparing you for scholarships. Listen, down below, you'll see a link for my upcoming best school year ever 5-day boot camp. All right. I want to invite you and your parents, and your students, and your parents. Jump on these 5 sessions, 5 nights, going to be an hour a night. I'm going to walk you through the process to help you with the habits, to help you with the strategies, to help you with the systems so you can make this your best school year ever. All right, so listen, join me. If you want to succeed this year, hey, click the link down below and jump on that best school year ever challenge. Now, if you click right here, I got this other cool video where I talk about the power of AI. I talk about how you can start using AI in education, using AI to help you develop some of these habits. Check out that video and let's make this your best school year ever.